So welcome to my first thoughts on IS Monstrum Nox. Now, before you knock your coffee over to go and order this off Amazon, I gotta say, this is the Japanese version. I imported this. It arrived the other day. It came in this Play Asia box, and I was like, what is this? I don't remember what this is. I ordered this, pre-ordered it around 9 months ago, and I opened it up, and I got the game, and I got a really nice soundtrack with it as well. And a lot of you out there will say, John, why would you import a game? Why would you get a Japanese game if you don't know how to play it? I do this a lot, folks. If you've ever watched the channel, I've been doing this since like 1989. I love importing Japanese games, especially series that I really care about, and giving them a good playthrough. And I finished quite a few Japanese games all the way through without strategy guides, just the will to succeed. And that's kind of how I've been playing this game. And you know what? I'm a huge fan, as a lot of you know, of the IS series. So of course I was going to import this to see what it was all about. And I want to say, I've been watching the trailers like a lot of you out there for a long time. And I got to be honest with you, I was very, very nervous about IS 9. I was looking at it and going, I don't know, man. It seems kind of, those graphics, the gameplay, it seems kind of open world. Is this going to be something I like? Where I can say I'm a few hours into this game. I'm doing quite fine, by the way. It's on pause in the other room. I want to just come in and give some early impressions of how this game is, and does it live up to the IS series? Well, let's first of all put this in the timeline of where it's supposed to be. IS 9 takes place after IS 7. And I also want to say here, there's no big spoilers. Everything that happens that I'm describing happens in the first 10 minutes of the game. I'm not going to show a lot of things that I've been doing a little bit after that, and a lot of transformations and stuff like that, but I will say this. We'll talk about the story, and the story, from what I can tell, is this. Adol, in his journeys, he's always on a crazy journey. This guy's been to more places and got into more trouble than Link, I swear. These guys should get together and have a game together. It would be the most awesome action RPG known to mankind. Imagine that, a two-player. Anyways, I'm getting off track. So Adol arrives at this city called Balduq, and it is a huge, gigantic city, and it's really known for its prison. Now, when Adol gets there, he is framed for a crime he did not commit, and he's sentenced into this prison, and that's where he is for a little bit of the beginning of this game. There's a little bit of flashback of what happened to Adol back then, and then you kind of flash forward to where he is now. So, yes, he escapes the prison. Wouldn't that be a boring game if it was all about being in that prison? It felt like that in the beginning. I'm like, is this just about being in the prison? Is that what this is all going to be about? It's realistically about being in the city from what I played so far. And so he gets out with the help of a very mysterious woman who shoots him and transforms him into an alter ego version of himself with bestowed powers. And she gets him to also help her with her cause. And you get recruited in with these other characters called the Monstrum. Now, that's where I'm going to end with the story. That's as far as I've gotten at this point. And it's really kind of interesting. I'm really scratching my head wondering where the story is going to go. And I'm really wondering at this point, are we going to leave the city? Because every single thing that I've done is within the city boundaries. There is parameters that you can't get out of. So you can't escape the city right now. So that's why I'm coming to the conclusion that I have to accomplish a whole bunch of things before I can get out of the city. So I've been running around the city, and I've been fighting monsters, and I've been fighting boss characters. And let's get into the gameplay, because that is the meat and potatoes of an IS game. How are the controls? How is the gameplay? Where this stuff is pretty good. I'm very happy with the way Adol controls. You can dash with him. You can run through the city super fast. You have a dodge you can do within combat. You also have a double jump, which can help you get to higher areas. And when you change into the alternative version of Adol, you can use a grappling feature that can shoot you across the screen, kind of slingshot you across the screen to different areas and help you traverse the city. Now, that is one thing that I really like in this game is no longer is Adol just running through the city or running through a field and he can't really interact with things. This time you can jump up onto ledges and slingshot across to another ledge, open a door and slingshot across there. So there's a little bit more in the way of gameplay. It's taken a few years for Falcom to really kind of expand the gameplay of the E series. It's always been kind of run into enemies or just fight monsters, and it's very, very basic that way, where now it's kind of opened up the 3 dimensions that way. And so that's one thing that I really do like in the game. Monster designs are really awesome. I love getting to a boss encounter and I'm dodging out of the way, and you can hit your left one and your right one and initialize a super attack on the enemy. And there's also other special attacks that you can equip to your character at any point. It feels really good. The combat and everything feels like classic Ys. I feel very, very at home here. And there was one bit where it just kind of opened up and I was like, oh my god, this is so classic Ys. I'll just let it play right now. Okay, as I've been talking about all of this, you've seen the graphics, so let's talk about that. How are the graphics? They're okay. Do I think they're better than Ys 8 at this point? I don't think so. I really thought Ys 8 was doing some really beautiful things with the island, where the city is kind of bland. It's very gray, and it's very ordinary looking, and you'll be running down entire sections of the city, and it's really barren. I was like, wow, there's no detail, there's nothing really kind of going on here. And so it kind of reminds me of a PS3 game. And that's okay. I'm going to justify it for this reason alone. It's an Ys game. They've never been known for their graphical wowness. Yes, they usually are with the cinematics. They're always good with that, and the characters and the monsters. But usually the lands are pretty, they're pretty okay-ish. So that's why I'm giving it a pass, because this is really a staple of the Ys series. I've never played an Ys game that was like next gen, and I was like, oh my god, I'm absolutely blown away. I really was a little bit more with the Ys 8, I will say that much. Now, all Ys games are judged in the end by their music, and the reason why is the Ys series has some of the best music in video gaming. Absolutely. The series has been phenomenal for their soundtracks, and the soundtracks stand almost above the game. So it's kind of like Star Wars, that Star Wars is cool, but the music elevates it. And Ys is cool, but the music elevates it. And so how is the music here? It came with a CD soundtrack here called Code Red, and it has 5 songs on it right here. And I've been listening to these songs. The first couple of songs are really fantastic, and then we get into some mood pieces, and it sounds like some kind of shop music, stuff like that. How is the music? I really like it. And here's another thing. You've been listening to it the entire video because I ripped this music straight off here to use in this video today. And I was listening to it and going, okay, this is good Ys music, isn't it? It really is fitting, and it feels good within this particular Ys game. Now, the next question is, when will a Western version of this game come out so all of you can play it? And should you import it? I'll say this much. For veteran players, people who have played import games before and have imported a few games like Ys before, I think you might be able to get through it. But I'm going to say this, there's a lot of Japanese in here, there's a lot of different item management. I can say for me personally that I feel very comfortable navigating through Japanese menus and figuring out what I need to do. I've done it so many times before. So I will say maybe wait for the North American version to get the most out of this, because one thing I am missing is the story details. I'm pretty good at picking up the subtleties of the story and kind of where we're going, but other than that, I can't wait for the North American version. So when is that going to be? I honestly don't know. I'm thinking in probably a year's time. Probably a year's time. Definitely 2020. I believe we will get a North American version of Ys 9. Of course, I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. I wanted to go in and see what this was about, especially because I was so nervous about this game. And looking at it before, I was like, I don't know. So how is it all coming together? Does it feel good? Does it feel like a game that I can recommend? Where, because this is my first thoughts, I can say I need to play more of the game to full on give a real recommendation. I can say, you know, right now the music is good, the gameplay is good, the graphics are okay-ish. I don't know where the story is going to go. Some of the battles that you have with the Monstrum, at certain times you have to do these little horde battles where wave after wave of enemies attacks you and you're controlling Adol and the Monstrum are attacking on their own to defeat these monsters. And that's pretty spectacular. I gotta say, I really like that, and I'm like, if there's more of that in the future, I can't wait to see where this goes. And I'm really enjoying traversing the entire city and exploring it and, you know, figuring out certain secrets in there. And it's very easy to navigate the map because every time I bring up the map, I see a little icon, exclamation point of where I'm supposed to go next. So far, I haven't been stumped, but I'm going to continue playing it and see how far I can get before I truly do get stuck. But you know what? For me being a huge Ys fan, I'm having a good time, and it's really fun to explore a new Ys game. Especially, you know, anybody can say, wow, it feels like not too long ago that Ys 8 was out, where honestly it was a few years ago already. It really is past that fast, and we're already on to Ys number 9. So guys, I just want to come in here today and give some of my first impressions, first thoughts. So anyways, guys, until next time.